The iKamand version 2 is ready for prime time. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the iKamand second generation or version 2, depending on what you want to call it. I've already reviewed the first generation as well as this model right here. So if you want to check out either of those videos, you can check out the link up here. But today we're just going to be talking about the updates that have been made to the software of the iKamand second generation. So I will save you a little bit of time and just tell you that I was not pleased with the iKamand first generation or the initial release of the iKamand second generation. I didn't ever have any hardware issues, which some people reported, but I did have software issues with the first generation as well as the second generation. And I will say we're in a much better place now with the software. There are some little quirks and some best practices that we'll get into when we actually go out to start the grill up. But for the most part, the iKamand does actually achieve temperature and hold a stable temperature. And I've gotten, I think, upwards of 18 hours of stable temperature at this point. But I really would have liked to see that in the initial release. I was very disappointed with the second generation's first release and what Kamado Joe was willing to actually put out there on the market. I thought that was very poor, and I was not a big fan of that. All right, so we got it rubbed down. I initially was thinking Texas style, but I went ahead and put a little onion powder, garlic powder, and paprika on here as well. So brisket's good to go. The age-old debate is still raging on. I'm gonna go fat cap down. I'm also gonna put like a pan underneath it to catch all the drippings, and we're gonna get our iKamand up and rolling. So let's go over to the grill and get that set up. Okay, hopefully you can see me okay. But my first lesson learned is to make sure that the ashtray is pushed all the way in, because if it's not, this handle can actually interfere with the flap on the iKamand. So push this all the way in and make sure that you don't have coals stuck on the end that's inhibiting this from getting all the way back. So just kind of do a check and just make sure this is sliding all the way in. First step is actually going to be lighting the fire. So if you have fire starters, put that in. I actually use a heat gun, but get the fire going, put your wood chips on, put your heat deflectors in, put your pan down, put your grill grate on top, and we're actually gonna let the grill probably heat up before starting the iKamand. And then I'm gonna put my grill pit temperature probe in this, what I would consider southwest quadrant, just like that. Hopefully you can see that okay. All right, so that's it on the grill. I'm actually gonna close it up and we'll talk about vents and getting the iKamand going. This cord right here is my pit temperature, so it's gonna go all the way on this left side. I know that this next one is my meat temp right here. We're gonna get that guy plugged in. And then I will have to close the door a little to be able to get the iKamand to go on there. So about here, so I still have that bit open there. So get it installed nicely, okay? And then we'll hook up our power on the left side here. Okay, we've got the solid blue. That means that we've got Wi-Fi connected. Okay, we got the green on the top saying that we're connected. So we go over here, boom, online. So this is the current version. This is 1.0.54 that I'm having the success with. So if you're not, go ahead and look here and it would say update. If you couldn't, also I did not name this thing Dab. That was its name from the factory. I'm gonna let the grill go for about 30 minutes and then I'm gonna start the iKamand. If I start the iKamand from the beginning and just let it go, it has eventually worked, but it takes a couple cycles to get the temperature right, and then it evens out. So I'll try to show those screenshots here, but it will eventually keep the temperature perfect. I'd rather just get a nice smooth, get the grill to temperature, and then just have it stay there perfectly stable. We're just about ready to start up the iKamand. We're gonna close the top vent down to about just an 1/8 of an inch open. Yeah, that's what I'm going for right there. We'll go ahead and close this. Now we will open the iKamand app. And low and slow, we're gonna go to 235. Brisket. And say 12 pounds. Probe 1, start iKamand. Green light, and we're off. See you tomorrow. Okay, so I'm gonna screen record this so you can see what I'm looking at. iKamand says at 230, but the fan's at 20%. Okay, let's look at the trend. Interesting. Looks perfectly smooth, except we see a little bump up in temperature right now. So I did open the app like 30 minutes ago, so maybe that had something to do with it. The brisket looks like we're in the stall right now just because it's kind of leveled off perfectly. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it in butcher paper right now, but so far this looks great. Lid open. There we go. Fire's definitely kicking up. You can see the smoke coming out here. iKamand has sent me a text message telling me my grill is too hot, reduce airflow. I kind of expected this because I had the top open for such a long time. So the iKamand will be probably at 0%, and it's gonna let the that temperature just kind of like slowly come back down. So you will see on the trend, when I show the trend, you will see a pretty big spike up, but that's just gonna be because I opened the lid for a while and the fire kicked up a little bit. I will say, I don't do these update videos very often, so I have a few on the YouTube channel, but I actually do put a good bit of updates on Instagram. So if you want to check that out, I'll put a link down here. You can go check me out on Instagram, especially if you go to like the profile page, and then you can see like some of the highlight stories. I think I have some on the iKamand there. You can kind of see the journey so far. But this has been, so far, better performance than I've gotten. This is not the iKamand's fault, but this cook is just taking a long time. So I'm actually gonna bump the temperature up. It's at 235, I'm gonna go up to 245, and then try to finish this brisket out. But so far, the iKamand has just been doing absolutely great. Our brisket is about done. Our internal temperature is 198, and we've been going, how long have we been going for? It doesn't have a countdown. I can't see, but meter will tell me. Yeah, so meter says we've been going for 19 hours. Okay, so it's been going for a while, and I gotta say, the iKamand has been doing awesome. I bumped the temperature up earlier today because it wasn't going quite as fast as I wanted. So we're gonna go out there, we're gonna take our meat probe out of the brisket, and we're gonna bring the brisket inside. But right now we're gonna go and actually stop the cook. So it says the brisket is ready because we hit the temperature, so I'm gonna hit stop iKamand. Do you wanna stop cooking? Yes, stop. Overall, pretty good performance. All right, let's get the brisket off. Also, shield your eyes. Don't look at that. Don't look at it. Oh, baby. So look at a little bit of a snack. So I don't think we need the cooler. I'm just gonna wrap it in 3 towels, and then we're gonna let it sit. Okay, while that rests, let's talk iKamand. So overall, this brisket took 19 hours. That is not the iKamand's fault. If you look at these trends, which I'll put up on the screen for you, I mean, the temperature itself looks excellent. So like I said, the experiences that I've had are that when I put the iKamand on, as soon as I start the fire and just let it go, I've overshot my temperature. I'll overshoot the temperature and it'll drop below, and overshoot and drop below, and then it would steady out. I've had better luck when I've done something like just let the grill start the fire and then let it go for like 30 minutes and get up to just 100 degrees on its own. And then I start the iKamand, and as you can see on the trend here, I mean, it just goes up right to 235 and is pretty much rock solid until this morning. So that first little squiggle, you see, that's when I went out there. It looks like the temperature kicked up before I opened it. I'm not sure why that happened, but I opened the top just to check it and actually wrap it. I left the lid open for a long time, like the whole amount of time that I wrapped the brisket. So that's why you see that spike up, and then the iKamand gets that temperature right back down to 235. You'll see the second drop in temperature. That's when I opened it again. And then I realized, hey, this is cooking a little bit slower than I would prefer. So then I bumped the temperature up to 245, and it pretty much did it perfectly. It recovers back to 245 and pretty much stayed at 245 all the way until we just took it off. So overall, great performance by the iKamand. My biggest complaint now is that they actually released a product without it being able to do this. It was the Gen 1s had a lot of like hardware issues as well as some software issues, and then the second generations, I was getting major temperature fluctuations, was trying all kinds of different things, and then now with this newest software update, I'm getting very good performance. I've had probably 7 cooks in a row of performance like this, so I can now say and recommend, yes, the iKamand is something that I can trust, that I can set something and let it go overnight. A lot of people are going to hate and say, oh, you don't need an iKamand. The Kamado Joe does an amazing job. And it does. That's absolutely true. This fan should have to be barely working because the Kamado Joe does such an awesome job by itself. But for someone like me, what I'm looking for, one, I enjoy tech and new gadgets. So that's one thing, of course. I do like it and think it's cool. The other thing is just the insurance of doing an overnight cook, or if I'm away from home. So I really love the ability to be able to check in on it, look on the app. I love that. Also, if I'm doing a brisket, these cuts of meat cost, I don't know about in your neck of the woods, but I'm spending $60-something. And if I put it on and then go to sleep and something were to happen, the wind kicks up or a freak thing happens where temperature drops, I don't want to ruin this piece of meat. So overall, I really just like the insurance of having the iKamand, whether it's when I'm sleeping or if I want to do something and go to work, I really love it for that. So I can now say I do give it a thumbs up. This performance is great for the price. The other controllers that I've looked into, the prices are much higher for something that does something similar. They may work better, but I think this is pretty good performance. I am not upset with this at all. So thank you so much for watching Break It Yourself. I'll include the footage after this, of course, of the end result. I'm not going to leave you hanging. But as always, don't forget to thumbs me up, and we'll see you next time. Oh, that's true. Yeah, they did.
And it's been like a couple of years. And then serve it to them. And then
Damn.
Alright. This ain't gonna be an easy game.
That's pretty good. This is not very tender. It should pull apart easier than that. So I could kind of tell this flat for some reason, like it was just not getting tender. I don't know why. It just depends on, it really just depends. I'm gonna try.